Hello and welcome to the Cruel Tunes podcast. I am Mason Ford, your host and creator of Cruel Tunes, the card game. I'm joined by a very special guest today. She's an incredible content creator with impeccable music taste. Emma Pottsclan, or better known as Epotty, joins us today. Emma, thank you for hopping on the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I love all your content. I know I mentioned that already, but want to hear how you kind of got started with this journey. What led you to start posting about your music taste and the things you love?
Yeah, so I kind of got started 2 years ago, and I was kind of in this place where I really didn't like my job and I kind of wanted to try to get into the music industry. So I was like, what if I start making content on TikTok? And then when I start applying to these music jobs, then I can show them my TikTok and say, look how passionate I am. And so that was kind of my original plan. But then when I started, it just started to grow a little bit and I just started to get really into it. And then eventually, kind of someone who was like my hero, Anthony Fantano, found my page and reposted one of my videos. And then we followed each other. And I was like, okay, now I really have to do this and take this seriously. So ever since then, I've kind of just taken it on this mission to expand it as much as I can, but not just that. I think my main goal is to try to inspire people to listen to new music, great music, and I think that there's a lot of healing that comes from music, so that's what I try to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was gonna save the Fantano questions for later, but since you brought it up, what was that experience like? I'm a fan of his. I watch his videos, of course. What was that experience like seeing maybe what was the first reaction seeing him kind of repost your content?
I remember I was with my parents, and when I saw that he reposted my video, I started jumping up and down, screaming. I was like, oh my God, this is the biggest deal in the world to me. My dad was like, what is going on? And like my mom was like so excited, but she was like, who is this? That was just like surreal in and of itself. And then when I saw that he followed me, I kind of just like felt really excited and happy, but also this like immense amount of pressure. I was like, okay, this is someone that I've like admired for so long and who kind of inspired me to do this page. So now I felt like I just really had to do it up as best as I could. So that was really great. But then ever since that first interaction, we kind of continued chatting a little bit here and there. I would post a video and he would repost it on his page or stitch it and duet it. And then I would do the same for him. And then it kind of just became this funny thing that people started to recognize me from his page a little bit. So we kind of developed this like quirky, maybe online friendship, I guess. And so again, just very crazy and surreal that that happened.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, an online friendship with Anthony Fantano is worth 1,000 friendships, I feel like. So
I agree.
that's awesome. But you got to meet him in person, right? What was that story? What's the kind of link up there? How did that go down?
Right. So again, we had been following each other then at that point for like a year and a half. And I kept seeing people comment on his videos that he would duet with me, being like, you need to do a collab with this girl. Like, you guys need to meet. So I came up with this like funny video idea where I posted on my TikTok and I was like, Anthony, like the people are dying to see us do a collab together. And it was like a screenshot of someone commenting that on one of his videos. And it had like one like. And so I was like, the people are dying to see this happen. Like we have to do it. And then like, a bunch of my followers started commenting like, yes, it needs to happen. We want to see it. So then he reached out within like a 5 hour span and he was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, got him.
That's awesome.
And so the story about it, I knew that he lives in Connecticut. My family's from Connecticut. At first it was going to be virtual, but I was like, no, I can get myself to Connecticut like any one of these
Yeah.
days. Like I'll make it happen. So we were able to find a day that worked for both of us. I got myself on a train to Connecticut and we met up at a record store and we met and he was absolutely so sweet, so kind. We record shopped for about an hour before we started making the videos together. Again, just a completely surreal experience seeing someone on your computer screen like every day for the past 10 years of your life to seeing them in person. I kind of was like a little like nervous and scared, but he was very nice and it was a great experience.
That's so cool. Yeah, such a like full circle thing, and I'm sure like surreal is a great word to use in that scenario. But that's so awesome, and I'm glad you got to do that. And it was great content, obviously, providing his worst take. So that's always appreciated from a fan. But besides meeting Anthony Fantano, what's kind of been, some of the coolest parts of this time of your life, or this, growing this audience and connecting with music or through music? What's kind of been, some of the highlights for you?
Yeah, I'll say a couple of things. I'll say since I'm based out of Brooklyn, especially in the beginning, it was really wonderful to get to connect in person with some of the people that are also in this space and who's kind of like paved the way almost for that music talk space. So, I kind of came up watching their videos and was like, oh my God, they're doing such great things. This is so cool. I wish I could do this. So I went from that to then like becoming their friends. And now some of them are like my like really close friends. And like we always go to events together, and it just feels really humbling to get to meet and become friends with people that are also so passionate about music and about, the ambitious journey to expanding people's music tastes. So I'd say that's been a major highlight. I would say another major highlight, it's really picked up in the past few months. I had the wonderful opportunity to interview the opening artist for the Ed Sheeran tour, and her name was Dylan. And that was really cool. Got to go to MetLife Stadium early, like go kind of like, behind the scenes a little bit, do the interview with her. And I was like standing in MetLife Stadium and it's huge. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah,
So
that's got to
cool.
be a crazy moment. Is artist interviews, was that something that was kind of on the radar for you too? Is that like a huge interest for you as well?
It absolutely is. Yes. I like to consider myself to be pretty personable and outgoing. So I think that
I would agree so far in this interview. You're doing great.
I don't shut up.
It's a good quality.
So I do think that the interview space is something I want to break into a little bit more. So having that first one and having it be for one of the biggest tours of the year just felt absolutely surreal. And I also, grew up kind of loving Ed Sheeran. So I was like, oh my God, like, can't believe this is happening. This is so cool. So I would say that's been a really surreal moment. And then I got to do that again for the opening artist, Lawrence, for the Jonas Brothers, which I have not dropped that yet, but soon to be.
Yeah, I saw that recently. How was the Jonas Brothers concert? Was it everything you hoped and dreamed for?
It's so funny. I, growing up, was never a Jonas Brothers girl. I was like an odd feature girl, so I kind of like missed the whole Jonas Brothers thing.
It's okay.
But that concert was amazing. Like, we're talking 3.5 hours of like Jonas Brothers love, and they've got like hits.
They definitely do. I am a Jonas Brothers fan, so I would love to check them out. And they have a ton of hits. I have a cousin who is like obsessed. She's been to every tour, every guy. She has like all of her memorabilia from growing up. So I was excited to see that, and it looked like a great time. So, and then you mentioned the Ed Sheeran concert. What was that like? That's like, MetLife Stadium. That's huge venue. Obviously, he's one of the biggest artists of all time. What was that like? Had you been to something that big before?
No, honestly, that was my first time at like a stadium tour, and we were able to be on the floor for the concert. And it really, again, I'm going to use the word surreal, but it really was surreal just standing there in the middle and you're looking up and you just see hundreds and thousands of people and they all have like their phone lights on. It really is the coolest thing in the world. And Ed Sheeran, as a performer, he was fantastic. He kind of did this whole speech where he was saying that all the instrumentation was live and that they don't do any like pre-recordings for the concert. So it was all Ed Sheeran raw singing, and he was really, really good. And the A Team is like one of my favorite songs of all time. So I kind of went nuts when that dropped.
That's awesome. I love Ed Sheeran, but the A Team is one of my least favorite songs, only because it's the first song that comes on in my car every time I plug it in. Other than that, I love that song, but for that reason and that reason only. I don't think I'm alone here on this, but no, I love that. Now I kind of want to hop into like your music taste, the things you like. What is your album of the year so far? And then any predictions for like the rest of the year? We've only got a few months left, but
Mhm. So I would say my album of the year so far is probably Can I say two?
Yeah, say two.
Okay.
You're not limited at all here. Say as many as you want.
My number one as of right now is definitely going to be There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard by Lana Del Rey. I think that throughout her career, she's really grown and her, songwriting has improved so much. And it sort of just hit this peak that I never thought it would on Tunnel. The songs are so beautifully written, they're so personal. They are about healing, but they're also kind of like still slightly tinged with that like toxicity almost that she's known for, but it's so real and that's why people connect with her music so much. And I just love the whole metaphor of her and her body and mind being a tunnel that no one gets to see. I think that's really beautiful. And then my number two is going to be Scaring the Hose. Just saw them on
Okay.
tour at Terminal 5 and it was amazing. It was honestly one of the best concerts that I've ever been to in my whole life. I just think that what they're doing and what they did on that album is just so innovative. It's so unique. It's so just unhinged. And I also just think the whole concept of scaring the hose being like this joke for we're making music that's not for mainstream is like really
Right.
funny.
Yeah, that's such a they totally capitalized on the internet theme of it all of like people being aware of exactly what that means and they're like that's exactly what we're going to do. So I love that. And then I know you're a big Lana fan. She was she was just working at a Waffle House, wasn't she? Was that was a thing that happened. What were your thoughts on that?
I love my girl because she's so quirky and she's always doing something that you'll never expect, but it's so her. And she looks great in that waffle uniform. So I was absolutely all for that.
She looked like a star. She looked like somebody working at Waffle House that shouldn't be working there. You know what I mean? It's like you pull it off almost too well. So no, I love hearing that. And I think those are great albums. If anybody hasn't listened to them, definitely go give those a listen. And then I kind of want to end off with this more of a kind of like cultural online music thing. What's a music argument that you want to just see eliminated from the space? What's something that you're just like, I'm done with, I'm over that. Let's all move on collectively.
Okay, I got one. This is like slightly really specific, but it's been on my mind a lot.
Okay, that's good.
If I hear one more person say that Doja Cat or Lil Nas X has been bought by the devil, that they are Satan people, that they're part of the Illuminati, I am actually going to lose my mind. I swear to God. This is like it's it's so annoying to me because they're obviously Doja and Lil Nas X and other artists who probably it's a bit and it's like an internet thing and they're like
Right.
hanging the fruit so low and these people are just like grabbing it and it's like I'm just like be an original thinker.
100%. It's actually funny you bring that up because I've gone on some pretty deep threads of people's like conspiracies, and I'm like, why did you take the time to do this? Why was this something that you wanted to believe in? Yeah, have seen that plenty. So I actually don't think that's too specific, but because I've seen that enough to agree with that. I'm ready to move on from that one too. So
I'm so ready.
okay, awesome. Well, let's move to our next little segment here. So, in the Cruel Tunes spirit, we'll build out a playlist based on a Cruel Tunes card. So, I'm going to give you three options here. You can take your pick, and then we'll actually build this playlist together on Spotify. I'll build it out, but you can just give me, 5 songs that kind of fit the playlist we're building. So, I'm going to send over your three options, but I'll also read them out for you to take your pick. So, option number one is going to be I'm crying in the shower while drinking a White Claw. Option number two is I'm actually not quite sure what I'm doing with my life, but this song makes me feel good. Or option number three, I'm on a 19-hour road trip with my dad. So whatever playlist you want to build out, you let me know, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I am going to go with it's between one and two. Let's go with number one.
Okay. I'm
And I'm
crying in
gonna
the
pull up some
shower
inspiration.
while drinking a White Claw. Yeah, I'm gonna get this set up. Yeah, start to brainstorm in your head what you want on this playlist. What does that look like? There's a couple different ways you can go with it. So
There is.
But whatever direction you want to take it, let's do it. So where are we starting off? What song are we starting with here?
Okay, let me see. Where is my sad playlist? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna start with a really obvious choice, but we have to do it. I'm gonna go with White Ferrari.
Yes. White Ferrari, White Claw, and In the Shower. That's perfect.
It
That's a great
works.
start. All right, what else do we got here?
Okay.
We'll shoot for five. Just a quick little playlist for enough to be in the shower crying.
Okay. My next pick is going to be. Ooh, this is getting dark. I'm gonna say Mystery of Love, Surf Jan Stevens.
Get as dark as you need to. There is do not hold back. Is Mystery of Love, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We got that one on there. Yeah, get dark, or if you want to turn things around at any point, you're free to do that.
Okay. Next one. Are you ready?
Yep.
The place where he inserted the blade, Black Country New Road.
I've I'm sad to say I don't know that song, but the title describes everything that I need to know there. So that's good. I love that.
Oh, you need to listen to that song
I
when we're
know,
done.
I know, I know. I'm aware. I'm aware I need to listen to the album too, but I'm lacking. So great pick there. What else do we got?
Okay, okay. Next, where do I want to go with this? I'll say Nothing New, Taylor Swift.
Nothing new. Okay.
Mhm.
We love a little T Swift on our playlist. All right. And song number five, let's close it out here.
Fantasy World, Quedeca.
Okay. Another one I don't know. Tell me why you want to close out with that one.
So that album is really good because it's like a story about someone who passes away, let's say, and it's told from the perspective of the ghost watching their family grieve. And I think the song Fantasy World is where he kind of pulls it all together and is just kind of like yearning for this place of peace and looking for that place of, you're in a really dark time, but you're waiting for that fantasy world. You're waiting for the dream to come true. You're waiting to find your solace. So I kind of think that it rounds out the playlist nicely because it ends on like a happier note.
I do like that. It seems like it gets dark, but it ends in a peaceful place. I like that. That's fair. That's a perfect place to just like turn the shower knob and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've had enough here. So that's perfect. I love that. That'll be available for people to listen to if you really want to get into it, if you really want to live that experience, you can. So thank you for doing that. That's a quick little segment we love to do. But now we'll jump into the song recommendations, which I really love. So if you could just give me four songs that you really love right now that you want to put some people on.
Yes. Okay. So I wrote this down before we got started. My first one is called Number Nine by Miguel featuring Lil Yachty. This is probably my favorite single that I've heard all summer. I love how super layered it is. It almost sounds like a Glee or Broadway song. I think that Miguel, throughout his career, has really experimented with a lot of different sounds. It almost kind of reaches that point where it's abstract. And then Lil Yachty, on the other hand, is also just trying new and different sounds with his music. So the two of them together, I think it makes this really great, unique, fun listen.
Yeah, such a cool collab of two artists that are like, Miguel's having this timeless moment where he's having his old songs being played on the radio nonstop. Lil Yachty's, had high critical praise of his latest album. So definitely a cool combination there. I love that. What else do we got here?
Okay, my next song, I believe this was a single from earlier this summer, but it's called Rock Paper Strippers by Tizo Touchdown. There's been
Great
a lot of
title.
talk about Tizo recently, especially now that he is featured on Drake's Instagram. Everyone now thinks that he's going to be on Drake's new album. I think that Teaser Touchdown is probably one of the most dynamic and unique artists that is about to hit big. And he's so willing to try something weird and different on his music. And this song, it kind of sounds like, it kind of sounds like a 90s jam, but it also kind of sounds like you're in the middle of like a wrestling match. Like when you listen to
That's
it, you'll get what
that's
I
a
mean.
great way to describe a song. Yeah, I need to give that a listen immediately. If if the title wasn't enough to convince me, that description definitely was. So I'm excited for that one. Awesome.
It's
What
really
do we have
fun.
next?
Okay, next we're back to Surf Jan Stevens. We're going So Are You Tired is the name of the song. It just came out. He's coming out with a new album. I kind of feel like, especially right now in August, we're getting to that time of the year where the weather is getting a little misty. It's starting to cool down a little bit, and it's time to turn on the Surf Jan Stevens and just like get really introspective and think. The song's great. It's super stripped back, very soft. And I think if people haven't listened to his music yet, they should. And the song's a great place to do it.
Okay, I'm excited for that one too. Awesome. And then close us out here. What's our last song recommendation?
Last song is from this super, up and coming underground rapper. His name's Zay Lewis. I found him on TikTok actually. And it was like one of the first times where I was like, wow, like this guy like promoting his music. Like it sounds like I love it. This is really great. It's called Fly on the Wall. He was kind enough to send me the song before it dropped and asked me for my feedback on it. So that's kind of why maybe I really love it because I was like, oh, I had a part of this.
Yes.
He almost reminds me of Tizo Touchdown too, where he's kind of like quirky with his music. It's a really interesting sound. He has like some rock elements to it. Almost sort of reminds me of like a 2000s vibe, but like blended with 2023 production. I definitely think that he's someone to be watching in like the rap space.
Okay, cool. I'm very excited to hear that one as well. And I didn't mention this earlier, but these will be kind of distributed throughout the podcast. People can listen to them as they listen to us. So
Yeah.
excited for people to be put onto that and myself, because those are all new songs for me. So super excited about that. I think we have enough time to try to crank out some Cruel tunes before we wrap up here. So we're going to play a quick round of Cruel tunes. We're going to do a little mini version. So I'm going to put on a song. I'm going to give you a few options of why you might be listening to that song. And then you're just going to choose the funniest or the best or the one that fits. So
Okay.
I created a little playlist for us based on some of your former content. So these are songs that have been featured in videos of yours. I know we got 10 minutes here. We can probably cruise through it. Should be good. If not, like I said, we can come back to it. But so I built out this playlist featuring songs that have been featured in your content. So you either know them, you love them, you hate them, something along those lines. So we will start off here. Let me share my screen and share my sound. Any questions before we get started here?
Nope. I'm excited to see what you picked.
Okay, awesome.
You have
All right.
started screen share.
I don't think I picked the right thing. Sorry. All right, here we go. This is the right
You
one.
have started screen share. Participants can now see your application. You are screen sharing.
Got Chateau Lobby number 4 by Father John Misty. I believe this is your favorite song of all time?
This
Did
is
I get
my
that right?
favorite song of all time. Yes, this will probably be like my first dance song.
Yes, I love that. Okay, and before we send these options over, tell us a little bit about the song. Why do you love it so much? Why is it your favorite song of all time?
This is the first song that I heard by Father John Misty, and I was immediately taken back and kind of jarred by how kind of weird the lyrics are. If you like really listen, there's some talk about like a snake with like blood with it. There's like talks about losing your virginity at the same time. I just found that to be like really funny and different and unique. But at the end of it, it's a very, very sweet love song about finding your soulmate, and wanting to spend the rest of your life with them. So I think that this song is beautiful. I also really love the fact that him and his wife met at the Chateau Marmont, and that's what the song is named after. And I love also kind of like the mariachi music that's like incorporated throughout the song as well.
Yeah, such a cool sound. Yeah, hearing it from your TikTok, this was the first time, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is something I love. So with that being said, I'm going to send over these options. Hopefully this doesn't ruin the song for you. So, and then you can read it off. The prompt is always, I'm listening to blank by blank because, so you can read it off as I'm listening to Chateau Lobby number 4 by Father John Misty because, and then read off each one.
I'm excited.
All right, here we go. Just sent those over.
Okay. Okay, I'm listening to Chateau Lobby by Father John Misty. This song is a song that I will play as I ascend into heaven during the apocalypse. I'm trying not to piss my pants from excitement. We're celebrating getting out of a 6-month dry spell. Okay, I think it's got to be number 3.
Great pick. Yeah, when you mentioned like the, he kind of mentions virginity in it. I don't know. I thought that might click there. So
It does.
that's good. I love that. All right, we're gonna go to song number 2 here. This is a deep throwback on one of your videos, just ranking Kanye songs. You put this one at the top. This is like from my childhood that I love, so wanted to include it here. And obviously a Lupe Fiasco feature, which is great. But tell us a little bit about this song, why you love it, and anything else you got.
Yeah, I kind of grew up listening to Kanye. Me and my parents, loved Kanye. So this song was kind of like a staple of my childhood a little bit. But not just that, I think I really gravitate towards music that is very inspirational and very uplifting. And I just think this song has such a positive message about your ceiling is unlimited and untapped. Just touch the sky and you'll never know where life can take you. That's kind of what I really believe. So I love this song so much.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So, all right, let me send these answers over. You can tell us why you're listening to Touch the Sky by Kanye West.
Okay. I found out I was not the father. Having to be with my own thoughts on a road that leads to dark, dark places. I'm blackout drunk at the local bar. It's got to be number 1. I found out I was not the father. Time to touch the sky.
Yeah, it feels right. Okay, I love that. Awesome. All right, let me go to song number 3. And then on this next one, if you could just read it off like I'm listening to blank by blank, because that'll just help with the content. So this one is Dunno by Mac Miller. Tell us a little bit about this song.
Oh, yeah. This is funny because when people ask me what I think the saddest Mac Miller song is, and I say this one, people are always really surprised. But this song always does not fail to make me cry. I just think that part where he's saying, I just want to touch you one more time to know that you're real, and to think and know that it was probably about Ariana Grande and that they'll never get that one last time with each other, or just in general, that one last time with someone that you love so much. It just really breaks me down every single time.
Yeah, well, not to take you down on a Friday morning, but I figured I'd play it. I figured it was meaningful to you. So let me send these answers over, and you can tell us why you're listening to Dunno by Mac Miller.
Okay. I'm listening to Dunno by Mac Miller because I'm nominating to change this to our national anthem. I just found out that I'm the side piece and I'm not the main piece. If tears were currency, I would be the richest bitch in the world. Okay, I just said that this song always makes me cry, so I'm gonna go with number 3.
Yep, great pick. I felt that 100%. If only that were the case. All right, let's go to song number 4 here. We've got Thunder by Imagine Dragons. By the look on your face, you are thrilled that I put this on here. Tell us about this song.
Everyone says that this is really embarrassing, and I know that it is, but I just don't care. I just think this song is so much fun. It always just brings me up. Like I love when they do like the clap clap for thunder. It just gets me going. And sometimes music doesn't always have to be super pretentious. You can kind of let your hair down a little bit and be like, okay, this song like sucks, but it's really fun, and just like appreciate that.
Everyone has an Imagine Dragons song that they like, or they know is catchy and they can't deny it. And that's okay. That's totally fine. So I'm glad you love it. Let me send these over and you can tell me why you're listening to Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
Okay, I'm listening to Thunder by Imagine Dragons because I'm still drunk from last night. 2, this is my guilty pleasure song for sure. 3, I think they put crack in this song. Okay, I think it has to be fitting that it's number 2. This is my guilty pleasure song. This truly is my number 1 guilty pleasure song.
That one's just facts. There's nothing, there's nothing special about it. It is just that. That's perfect. All right, we'll finish off. Oh, actually, this is the last song here. We've got Cherry Bomb by Tyler, the Creator. I believe this was, so those two. So Thunder was your favorite song from like your least favorite artist, and then this one was least favorite song from a favorite artist. So tell us a little bit about this one.
You dove deep.
I did my research. I went all the way back.
That's so funny. Okay. Yeah, so Tyler the Creator is my favorite artist, but this is my least favorite song by him and probably one of my least favorite songs ever. It pains me to say that, but I don't really know what he was doing here. He's just like really dropped the ball. I think the mixing is really off. You can't really hear what he's saying. I like music that's distorted and loud. Like I love Death Grips, but
Right.
this just didn't work for some reason.
Okay. And that's, I'm proud of you for admitting it. Sometimes as a fan, there's things that we got to give up and we got to be honest about. But I'm a delusional Drake fan, so I probably won't ever admit something like that. But
I love
but
Drake.
yeah, with that being said, I'll send these over. You can tell us why you're listening to Cherry Bomb by Tyler the Creator.
Okay, I'm listening to Cherry Bomb by Tyler the Creator. Sorry, let me do that again. I'm listening to Cherry Bomb by Tyler the Creator because number one, this is a song that would play on repeat in hell. Two, the goal is to have a seizure from these lights and music in the club tonight. Three, this isn't a Christmas song, but it should be. I'm gonna say number one. I just can't imagine a place where I would have to be forced to listen to the song over and over again. No, thank you. That is hell.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. I love that. Great picks. Thank you for playing. That was a perfect timing. Great round. We've got less than a minute, but I want to give you a chance to, kind of do an outro. So let's hop out and then hop back in and we'll
Perfect.
wrap up.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Yay. Okay, so I'll leave.
Yep.
Okay.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for playing Cruel Tunes. Hopefully you enjoyed our little pick of songs and choices. But want to close out here, give you a chance to kind of shout out some of your socials, anything else you got going on, where people can find you, what else you have on the horizon. But the floor is yours.
Thanks everyone so much for listening. I'm Epotty with an underscore on TikTok. That's where you can get to watch all of my music content, see my silly little videos and ideas. If you want to follow me on Instagram too and just get a little bit more of a personal look at my life, that is also Epotty underscore. I'm really excited for the future and all the things we have planned. I have a couple of interviews in the works, a couple more collaborations in the works, and I'm just really excited to continue to meet such great people like you and get to do stuff like this and get to know you guys all better.
You're too kind. Well, thank you for the time. I appreciate it. Hopefully you had a ton of fun. If you want to check out Emma or any of her socials, that'll be all in the podcast description. So be sure to check those out. If you enjoyed us playing Cruel Tunes, you can grab that on Amazon, Etsy, or crueltunes.com. But Emma, thank you again. It means a ton, and we'll be on the lookout. Thanks to anybody who listened along, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.